Do I have any buyer's remorse after spending $1,300 on this new iPhone 16 Pro? Let's go. What's up, y'all? It's Tyson here, Warford. I'm back for another video. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Remember to be thankful for your freaking life today because you didn't have to have that. Before we get into the meat potatoes, I want to say a few things first. I paid for this iPhone 15 Pro with my own money. The next thing I want to say is I would be what you consider a power user when it comes to iPhones. I am a full-time content creator, which means I'm using cameras, drones, phones, all that stuff all day long. The iPhone is the tool I use the most every single day. I use the crap out of my phone every single day. Now, I upgrade every year. Why? Let me make an analogy for you. Let's just say that I cut down trees for a freaking living, right? I use a chainsaw that allows me to cut down a tree in 58 seconds. And I do this all day, every day in, day out, month in, month out. You get the point I'm trying to make. And the same company that makes the chainsaw that I already have comes out with a new chainsaw. Maybe it has 1 extra horsepower, and maybe it allows me to cut the same tree down in 56 seconds versus 58 seconds. Now, if I cut down trees all day for a freaking living, are those 2 seconds not meaningful? Is the money that I spent to make those 2 seconds compound, and ultimately make my job easier, is the money worth it? I would say for that person, yes. Well, that person is me. So every year when I'm getting these new iPhones, I'm looking for that little bit of edge that can make my job a little bit easier. And I did the same thing this year with the iPhone 16 Pro. Now, I have the iPhone 15 Pro, which I also paid for with my own freaking money. And to be honest, the iPhone 15 Pro has been a rock solid phone. It's been a fantastic phone. I could have easily ran for another 2 years with this phone with no problem. The 15 Pro was the biggest jump when it comes to iPhones. It's got USB-C, it's got ProRes, it's got all of this stuff built into it. And the 16 Pro was not a huge jump, so it wasn't like a necessary jump for me. However, when Apple did the keynote and they came out with all the new features like, you know, the 5X telephoto camera, 4K 120, camera control, bigger screen, and the audio mix feature, those things had me hyped. Now, I've been using this for about 2 weeks, all day, every day, and I have some thoughts and opinions, okay? The first thing I want to talk about is camera control. Camera control in its current state is freaking cap. First of all, it's not intuitive. It doesn't even feel right to use it. It's half-baked. Apple promised us artificial intelligence and all that stuff, which I know is coming, but we don't have it yet. So with that said, I was so hyped for camera control, especially for the ability to use it as a dual stage shutter. Well, we don't have that. So right now, camera control, I feel like Apple duped us. Like, this was literally something that's like, we got no other freaking ideas. Let's just throw something in there. I hope people bite on it. This is the most pointless thing I've ever seen on the phone. I'm just being honest. It's useless. The next thing is the screen size. I have the 15 Pro right here, and I, intentionally don't go with the Pro Max because I don't want to carry around a freaking cookie sheet. The fact that they upgraded it from 6.1 to 6.3 inches for me has been a meaningful upgrade. It's not a huge difference, but I'm getting a little bit more real estate out of it, and the phone isn't that much bigger. So for me, the screen size bump has been honestly a W. I really love the bigger screen on the iPhone 16 Pro. Now the next thing is the audio mix feature, okay? When I heard it on the Apple keynote presentation, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so fire. But to be honest, in real world practical use, I've only used it one time, okay? I'm somebody that always has microphones on me, so I don't want to take the chance of my iPhone possibly saving my audio when I could just pull out my DJI Mic 2s and make sure that I got clean, good audio. Now also, Apple says that the battery was improved. To be honest, I don't really have a way to tell that. My iPhone 15 Pro is like at 88% health. So anything right now is better than this thing. It's hard for me to tell if the battery was any better than my 15 Pro was when I first got it because that was a year ago. So another moot point, okay? Let's talk about the cameras because in my opinion, this is where I'm kind of torn. First of all, I'm pissed off at Apple because Apple could have put the 5x telephoto camera in the iPhone 15 Pro. But you know what they did? They said, if you want the 5x telephoto camera, you gotta go with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now, I don't have a degree in physics or engineering or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure that this is the same size camera module, okay? I'm looking at both of them side by side. That looks pretty freaking similar to me. And I know the iPhone 15 Pro Max has the same size camera array, so it's very interesting that now with the iPhone 16 Pro, they were able to put the 5x telephoto camera in there. Now, has it been worth the upgrade for me? To be honest, no, it hasn't. And you know, I know some of y'all gonna talk about me in the comments like, Terry, you knew what your usage was before you bought it. Sure, I did. But I remember last year, I really wanted that 5x telephoto camera, and I was pissed off that Apple held it back. Well, now that I have it, to be honest, I haven't used it. I haven't used it one time. I'm not saying that for other people it's not a meaningful upgrade, but for me, I'm talking about, is this phone like worth it? Do I have buyer's remorse? It hasn't been meaningful for me. You wanna know why? Because if I want that much reach, I'll pull out a camera where I have a dedicated lens and I can get much, much higher image quality. Now, I know that sounds snobby. Not everybody has cameras and telephoto lenses and stuff like that, but you know, thank God I do. So for me, it hasn't been a meaningful upgrade to 5x telephoto camera because I don't use it. Now, the next thing is 4K 120. I will say that 4K 120 has been a ton of fun on the iPhone 16 Pro because it shoots it at ProRes log, which means that you can get some really, really good 120 frames per second slow-mo out of the iPhone 16 Pro. It's super easy to cut it in with my bigger cameras that can shoot 4K 120, like my ZVE1 that I'm using right now. My biggest gripe with it is you can only use the main camera. You can't do it on any other camera, which is very, very surprising. But overall, it has been a very fun upgrade. Has it been a necessary upgrade? No. But I will tell you, like, I filmed all of my B-roll from my YouTube videos in 4K 120. And now that I could do that on the iPhone 16 Pro, that has been a addition to my workflow. So I will say for that, yeah, I feel like it was worth the upgrade. But when it comes to camera quality, I know that they improved the megapixels on an ultra-wide camera, but to be honest, I haven't noticed enough of a difference to make me feel like spending this much money on an upgrade was justified. When it comes to photo styles, don't use them. I know the iPhone 15 Pro has photo styles, but you know, haven't used them at all on the iPhone 16 Pro. So that hasn't been a big deal for me either. Lastly, AI, okay? Apple promised us all this AI stuff with the iPhone 16 Pro. Well, we ain't seen it yet up to this point. So the problem I have with this is I really think that the iPhone 15 Pro is also gonna get those same AI enhancements. I'm pretty sure we are. So there's like not really a reason for me to need the 16 Pro for AI because the 15 Pro is gonna be able to do it. I think I talked about all of the major points that had me considering upgrading, okay? So let's answer the question. Do I have buyer's remorse after spending, what, $1,300 on the 256 gigabyte iPhone 16 Pro after taxes? And for the first time in a long time, I'm gonna say, yes, I have buyer's remorse. I don't feel like coming from an iPhone 15 Pro to an iPhone 16 Pro for the money has been worth the upgrade, okay? And it's not that I can't afford it. It doesn't get me any closer, although I do appreciate like the 4K 120 and the bigger screen size. Like those things don't add up to $1,300 of upgrade for me when the 15 Pro already does a fantastic job minus those two things for me. Unfortunately, as much as I want to keep the iPhone 16 Pro as a business decision, I can't justify it. I mean, it would be a tax write-off, but I can't justify it. It doesn't make sense when fundamentally it doesn't really give me anything more that makes my job easier, like the analogy we talked about at the beginning of this video, than the iPhone 15 Pro already offers. Now, if I was coming from an iPhone 14 Pro, this would be a whole different conversation, but for me, I have buyer's remorse and I'm returning the iPhone 16 Pro. There it is. I'm returning it, okay? All you people that's gonna come dog me in the comments, go ahead, have a field day. Terry, we knew he only did it for the views. He only did it for the content. Shut up. I honestly just love to test out new stuff. And if it worked for me, it worked for me. If it don't work for me, it don't work for me. But I always like to share it because I'm a tech enthusiast. I love cameras, and this is what I do on this channel. So I'm gonna just always keep it a buck with y'all. Anyways, if you wanna see how the iPhone 16 Pro stacks up against the amazing Osmo Pocket 3, I will leave a link to the video up there and in the end cards. And until next time, I'm out of here. Tight shirt, Terry Warfield. Peace and chicken grease. I'm out, y'all. Much love. Peace.